Wrestlemania. What a show. Let's look at the matches. Jey Uso goes over Gunther. Pretty good match. Good to see Jey Uso get a bit of recognition. Would have liked to... Gunther had a good showing as well. New Day go over War Raiders. Jade Cargill beats Naomi. Okay. Jacob Fatu. What a showcase. What a talent. Jacob Fatu. What a showcase talent. Il Gran Americano, not Chad Gable. Stop calling him Chad Gable. He beat Rey Fenix because Rey Mysterio was too scared to show up, so we got injured. But Rey Fenix was a bit too fill up short, so we had Il Gran Americano go over. Tiffany Stratton beat Charlotte. Seth Rollins beat CM Punk and Roman Reigns, lining himself with the Wise Man, always a good move. Night 2. Io Sky defeats Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Drew McIntyre beats Damian Priest by pinfall. Good to see Drew McIntyre get some comeuppance against Damian Priest. Damian Priest cashed in against him last year. This is karma. Dominic Mysterio defeats Braun Breaker and Finn Balor and Penta, so Dominic Mysterio is the champ. Very nice work, Dominic. Very nice work. Love your work, man. Very good. Hope to see some big stuff from you, Dom. Randy Orton beat Joe Hendry. TNA World Champion showed up. Fell up a bit short against the Viper. Enough said. Logan Paul beats AJ Styles by pinball. So obviously, Logan Paul, once-in-a-lifetime talent. Very good. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch beat Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Enough said. And then the main event. Drop the hat. Can't drop the hat of Cena. 17 time. Enough of this crap of the he's not the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. He beat Flair's record now. So there you go. Cena is the GOAT. Cena, the last real champ. And any videos that say otherwise are clickbait, and it's just not real reporting. Cena's the last real champ. All the clickbait videos out there, all those clickbaits, they're all going to say, oh, he only won because this. He was not good enough. He did this and that. Last real champ. I know I'm holding a WWF title, but it doesn't matter. Cena's held them all. So I don't think he held the WWF title. But he would have held the WWF title if he was in that company at the time, you know. If he was 5 years younger, he would have held that WWF title. So none of this stuff about Cena not being the GOAT. And there we go. Cena, last real champ. He's going to ruin wrestling for everyone. And he's going to do some good stuff going forward. And yeah. Last real champ. John Cena. Remember that. Remember that. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and in case you haven't watched Wrestlemania, there will be spoilers in this video, so if you want to click off and come back when you've watched it, there's always an opportunity to do that right now. I'll wait 5 seconds. Okay, C Nation is back on top. John Cena has won number 17. Now, wrestling fans will know that Flair obviously held a lot more than 16 world titles. I think the actual number is in the ballpark of 20 to 25, although most wrestling fans who follow the actual non-official title losses and regains will usually talk about 25. So Flair is still the actual title holder in terms of record holder, I should say. But Cena, in terms of WWE's recognized reigns, Cena is the all-time great in terms of that. So, 17 world titles to Cena. Congratulations, Cena. What a feat. I mean, 17 WWE titles is insane. The guy who carried the company for years and years and years. Wow. But let's talk about Mania as a whole. I'm going to put this belt down because it's really heavy. It's almost like 5 kilos or something. But yeah, we'll just put this down. I'm just going to fold it up and put it somewhere. I don't know if this is actually going to hold, but we're going to try it anyways. It's probably better if I put the actual buckles on this. This is a actual like proper world title, so let's do these little clicks up. And then we'll go through my whole WrestleMania rundown, what I thought of it, what I thought was great, what I thought didn't work. So we'll just put that there. So I've got the results over here. I watched all of WrestleMania. First, let's start off with the world title match. Jey Uso versus Gunther. Jey Uso goes over. Decent world title match. I think it was real showcase for both stars. Gunther had a strong showing. I think it took 3 frog splashes to beat Gunther. You kind of want that. And this light is really bright on my eyes, so if I'm blinking a lot, that's why. New Day. Let's go back to Jey Uso. Jey Uso, I remember watching Jey Uso when he came out to Australia in like 2010, 2011 when he debuted. The Usos were a big tag team, and it's great that Jey Uso's got that singles run coming up now. Yeah, New Day went over the Viking Raiders. Okay, didn't really care about that match, but I speculated that Big E might get involved in there, but I mean, I'm not going to complain about the New Day getting a title reign. They're one of the all-time great tag teams now. Not as good as the Dudley Boys, but definitely contenders. I'm just going to come over here real quick and just quickly check something. Yep, so that title is definitely in there. So we're just going to put that title down a bit more. So we're going to have that title right there. There we go. We want to see a full title if we're talking about title defenses and title wins. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Jade Cargill beat Naomi. Yeah, that was I think I pretty much skipped most of that match. I didn't really care about that match. But Jade Cargill looked impressive, though. I will say she looked impressive in her entrance, looked impressive in what I saw of the match. Jacob Fatu had a big showing at WrestleMania, won the United States title. Amazing. He needed a world US title. He needed that title run now. Good to see that. El Gran Americano. Oh my gosh. He's not Chad Gable. Let's not call him Chad Gable. He's not Chad Gable. But, you know, El Gran Americano was, like, had a really good showing. And I like that whole entrance where he kind of had the mariachi band, like, playing him in. Such a little parody thing, but I think this is going to work good into the AAA sort of acquisition. I know, what's that other one they keep mentioning? The King? I don't really follow AAA, sorry. Alberto Del Rio might show back up eventually, though. He's a AAA star. But yeah, he went over Rey Fenix because Rey Mysterio was injured, so Rey Fenix took the spot. And then, look, everyone's going to complain about, oh, Rey Fenix lost his first Mania match. Who cares? I mean, he had a strong showing. It showed some of his talents, and yeah. Tiffany Stratton beat Charlotte. Very happy about that one. Didn't think Charlotte needed any more recognition. Although they did put on a good show in that match. They put on a really good match. So I'll give both stars credit. Charlotte kind of gets the best out of some of these performers, and Tiffany Stratton had, obviously, the best came to the surface. It kind of felt like I was watching Trish Stratus at sometimes. And then the main event, Seth Rollins goes over CM Punk and Roman. Heyman aligns with Seth Rollins. I think probably one of the most obvious finishes to Mania. I mean, we all knew that either Heyman walks out with Seth Rollins or a returning Lesnar comes back and walks out with Heyman. Like, we knew it was one of those two scenarios, although the latter was probably less likely because, you know, the whole court case thing happening with Lesnar and the McMahons and all that, we know, or Vince McMahon. So I could see, like, they made the safe call. But what a match that one was. I mean, CM Punk, they played This Fire Burns when he was walking in. It was just so great to hear that song again. And this light is really blurring into my eyes, so if I keep blinking, I am sorry about that, but yeah, it just is what it is. Seth Rollins beat CM Punk and Roman. I mean, Roman's won a lot of WrestleMania matches. He didn't need it. CM Punk in his first main event, although, are we calling this like the first main event of CM Punk's career? I mean, yes, it's the main event is technically the last match on the card, the one that closed the show. But I would say the first main event that CM Punk had, the one where everyone remembers, is Punk versus The Undertaker. That was more of a main event, so I would say that. But anyways, Rollins won that match. Let's go to night 2, the one that just happened, like, finished a few minutes ago. Io Sky went over Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Mummy lost. Jeez. I mean, what now? But it was a good showing to let Io Sky win a match. I mean, I think she was 0-4 at WrestleMania, so it was good to have her win a match, have her showcase, and I'm sure, look, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley are going to be fine no matter what. Great match. Didn't really think too much of like... I mean, it was a typical wrestling match, but it had a lot of muscle in it. Like, one of the complaints with some of the women wrestlers that I have is that sometimes it's too choreographed and it feels too rehearsed. This didn't feel like it was so overly rehearsed. So you had Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley laying into each other. Like, it felt like proper hits. And Io Sky, I mean, the backflips and all that. It was rehearsed, but also it didn't have that nature where you watch women's wrestling and it kind of looks like, oh, I'm just going to doof you on the head and there we go. I won't really touch you. I won't really hit you, though. Here we go. Slipcover Steve is going to be pissed at me. If you know, you know. So anyways, we had, you know, we had that match. Next match, we had Drew McIntyre goes over Damian Priest. I think this was well overdue. I mean, McIntyre's won before, but that whole build-up for the year, you know. I think Drew McIntyre deserved this win. I think it was good to showcase him, let him have a win back for that loss last year. I mean, obviously he won the world title last year, but then he lost it straight away. So it is a good, like, payback sort of thing. Dominic Mysterio won the Intercontinental title. And he pinned Finn Balor to do it. I think the big money match in this now is Finn Balor and Dominic, who's going to lead the Judgment Day. And then also Bron Breaker's rematch. That will be interesting to see Dom Mysterio versus Bron Breakker and the antics in that one. And then we go to Randy Orton's special challenge because obviously Kevin Owens is hurt. And we all thought it was going to be Rusev Day. We all thought it was going to be, you know, who's coming out? It could have been Alberto Del Rio. I heard people speculating, oh, Triple H's been acquired. It could be Del Rio. It could be someone. And we got Joe Hendry. Everyone was saying Joe Hendry was injured, but man, oh man, he shined. And then he got caught with an RKO out of nowhere. You never turn your back on the Viper. Very big lesson to Joe Hendry. And then he went and like celebrated with Randy after the match, and then Randy RKO'd him again. You don't trust the Viper. But Randy looked awesome in this match. 20th WrestleMania to Randy. I remember when he had his first WrestleMania match, it was my first pay-per-view I ever ordered, WrestleMania 20. I'm showing my age here. Logan Paul beat AJ Styles in a kind of... It was an alright match, but it was also like... I mean, Karrion got involved there and said, use the brass knuckles here, because obviously Logan Paul's person tried to give him brass knuckles. I don't know who that other person was for Logan. I don't know who he was. But he tried to give him some brass knuckles, and then Karrion intercepted and said, AJ, just use these. And AJ just threw him and then punched Karrion cross, and then, you know, he lost. That looked good because it protected AJ from the loss, really, but it was kind of good. Like a Valkyria, oh, and here's another thing. So Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez lost the tag titles, the women's tag titles, to Lyra Valkyria and a returning Becky Lynch. Good to see Becky again. Good to see Becky Lynch back on WrestleMania. Good to see her. I would have really preferred to have seen Alexa Bliss, but obviously they might be saving that for a later point. But why are we not seeing Alexa Bliss? Can we just ask that? Why are we not seeing Alexa Bliss right now? I don't know, but we got Becky Lynch, so they're the World Tag Champs for women's. Great match. Alright match, I'll say. I won't say it's a great match. Decent match, I'll say. 8 minutes apparently it went for. And then the world title. Cena really put on, like... You could see Cena try not to play to the crowd. Like, you could see him almost fighting this internal fight of, like... You could see he wanted to do the 5-knuckle shuffle the way he used to do it all the time, and then he had to stop and pull it up because he's like, he had to remind himself at times that he's a heel and he shouldn't be playing to the fans. But you can just see that debate inside Cena of, like, he still wants to do that, but he's also playing a heel, so it doesn't make sense. That being said, as I said, Cena's 17 times the champ. I'm just holding a WWF title because I don't actually have the WWE title that they have, but I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to hold that like that. I don't know if I go up full height, if you can actually see that. Probably not, but I'll hold it up there. But, you know, Cena, 17 times the champ. Obviously, people will say he's now won over Ric Flair in terms of WWE's eyes. But as I said, Flair held like 25 world titles, so I don't think it's really hurting Flair to have Cena win on that stage. Obviously, to be recognized by WWE is another case. But I mean, Hogan won 22, Flair won 25 or something. So if you count all the world titles, actually, I think Hogan held 21 world titles. I don't know. But if you count all the world titles from everywhere, like even Puerto Rico back in the day, I don't think they count Carlos Colon's or, you know, I don't think they count certain titles. What about in Australia where Flair would drop the title in parts of Australia and then win it back or whatever, or wherever they won the titles? I don't think they're officially recognised by the NWA, so I don't think WWE recognised those sort of things, those sort of deals. So, yeah, we have that sort of situation. Flair, I still see as the world title holder, the record holder. But it is good to see Cena get number 17 and break that annoying number that people couldn't go beyond. Now, I obviously don't want people to do the hot potato and just start dropping the title every week and try to get to 30, 40 world titles. But, you know, I think Randy could go there beyond that at some point. Charlotte's getting there. She's at 14. Yeah. I mean, people are speculating now, Randy should have had it, I think it was Pat McAfee who said, is this for the TNA world title when Joe Hendry came out? Imagine if Randy Orton won the TNA world title at WrestleMania. That would have been an interesting scenario. But either way, it would have taken the shine off Cena, you know. Cena, it's all about. 17 times the champ. We're going to have the full belt. 17 times the champ, John Cena. C-Nation, we run the show again. And I can't, look, I haven't been the biggest fan of Cena because, I mean, for me, Cena had a Super Cena I'm talking about the Super Cena era. I was a massive C-Nation fan during that era. I was a massive Cena fan. But there was almost like an expiry date on it that most people can point at. And I think that was SummerSlam 2014, where it was the beginning of Suplex City, where he had the match with Brock, and Brock just chucked him like 17, 18 times or something. It was the establishment of Suplex City. That for me is where Super Cena actually finished. But it's good to see like hints of this new John Cena. I think this is a really good sign. And I want to see more of it. I mean, I know he'll probably cut a promo on me. That'll be pretty funny. But yeah, Cena's the champ again. Let's hold it like Cena was. Cena's the champ again. Can we just take a moment to just appreciate that? Cena is the world champion again. What a time to be alive in 2025. Cena's the world champ again. 17 times the champ. Cena's the champ. It's not Roman, but it's Cena. I'll take Cena. Everyone knows that I'm a big Roman Reigns fan, so... I mean, I hope Roman gets gold again. I hope Roman gets back there, wins world titles again. Although I think he needs to win the world title on Raw. I think Roman needs to be drafted to Raw and then win the world title. Like, it'll be an interesting scenario of Jey Uso versus Roman. That'll be an interesting scenario. World champion stuff, you know? And then, you know, I don't know how they go from there, but that'll be interesting. But as for Cena, I want to see Cena versus Orton. I want to see Cena versus CM Punk. I want to see Cena versus, like, the greatest hits, but the greatest matches. It's a shame that Edge is in AEW, because I would have loved to have seen Edge versus Cena during this heel run. But obviously AEW, Edge's Cope is getting that money from Tony Khan, and that's good. He's putting another company on the map by being there, I guess. And yeah, it's interesting. Interesting scenarios. Interesting state of wrestling at the moment. But WrestleMania 17, the night John Cena won number 17. The night John Cena won number 17. Thanks for watching. C-Nation back on top.